Welcome to a special edition of the WolfPack Hour. I'm your host, Big Bastard Wolf Grub. I have a special guest behind the scenes. She's known from Glow. Her name is April Hall, aka the Royal Hawaiian from Glow. So let's see what she has to say. So I'll be bringing on the show right now.
Me? Hi.
Welcome.
Aloha.
Everyone, let me introduce. Welcome, April Hall, aka the Royal Hawaiian.
Hello. Aloha. How are you, WolfPack? Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you perfectly.
Okay, well, we got it together here. So we are finally
Awesome.
on.
Awesome,
Sorry for
awesome.
all
I'm
the
great.
confusion.
First time ever on the Wolfpack Hour. I am your host, Big Bastard Wolf.
Well, thanks for having me on.
You're welcome. So I got a few questions for you.
Yes.
How long were you the world crown holder on Glow?
Well, I started from the beginning. So from day one with Glow, we started auditioning and getting ready for the show in 1985. And then the show
Okay.
aired in 1986. I did only do the pilot and then the first season 1 into 2. And then I got injured and left. So I didn't have that long. Glow went for 4 seasons, and I was just there for season 1, and then unfortunately got hurt, and that ended all that. But the short time that I was there was amazing, and I had a great time. And unfortunately, I had injuries that ended that for me. And so here I am today, though, 38 years later, and I'm still working in the industry and mentoring the girls, the current women. Um, Managing a couple girls. What is that noise?
1 minute, I'll be back. I apologize. It's my
That's okay.
neighbors. I'll be back.
Oh. Oh, look, is he a ceiling fan? I ended up putting a sign on my door because I put do not disturb because there's all kind of commotion going on over here. So anyway.
Boy, I apologize.
That's okay. I didn't know what it was because I couldn't really hear you.
It's my roommate working on his car. Sorry.
Oh, no problem. I didn't know what it
Okay.
was. And I thought, because on my end, I do get really bad connections sometimes. So
I can hear you. Yeah, definitely.
okay.
Okay. Question 2. Okay, when did you actually get debuted on Glow?
Well, like I said, we started in 1985. So we held the audition. So 1985, they had an open call audition in Hollywood. And basically my agent at the time was Bob Giannis, who was partners with Jim Bridges, who was Todd Bridges' dad. You know, Todd Bridges from Different Strokes, which talk about Willis. Anyway, he's also
Okay.
involved in the wrestling industry. But so they came over and said, we got this call for a TV pilot. They're looking for all kind of girls, but they didn't say what it was for. They just said looking for all shapes and sizes, all ethnicities, and if you were athletic, it would be a plus. So I was a tomboy. I grew up between 2 brothers, and I was in sports and all that fun stuff back when they didn't have girls sports. So I actually wanted to play boys little league baseball with my brothers, and that's how I got involved in sports. So my parents went to the league and said, can my daughter play? And they went to the board and they said, well, let us check. And they didn't. So I was the first girl to play boys little league baseball here in Southern Cal. And then I played baseball with the boys. And then when softball finally came up, I transferred to softball. And so I was a tomboy. So when this came up, they said, athletic. If you're athletic, then it would be a plus. So I went to the audition. It was held in Hollywood at the Hyatt Hotel. and there were 1,000 girls. Every kind of girl you could think of: actress, dancer, model, skater, cheerleader, singers, whatever you could think of, just regular college students or, whatever. And so there was 1,000 girls. And then David McLean and Matt Simber, there was a ring in the middle of the room, and they were in the ring, and they said, well, you are all here for an all women's wrestling league on a TV series. So this is for a TV pilot. So a third of the girls got up and left and said, I'm not here to break a nail. I'm not going to get hurt. I didn't ask to come to this. I didn't know what it was for. Well, I worked in Hollywood, and the reason I worked in Hollywood was to get auditions and interviews, to try and find something to do, to get on a show somewhere. So I said, hey, I'm here for the duration. So we started. That was the first audition. And out of the 1,000 girls, they picked 2 girls, and I was one of them. The other one was Hollywood. And so they asked us, can we tumble? We got in the ring, and some of us were able to do. I was a cheerleader, so I had gymnastic background. And so that was a plus. And then we did like cold readings. They had us come in front of the camera and do like a little spot, tell us about yourself. And so they did tell us they were looking for 12 characters. So they said, one of the characters is the Royal Hawaiian. And so I said, wow, wouldn't that be great? I said, how perfect is that? It just fell in my lap. I said, I lived in Hawaii for over 25 years. I was a hula dancer. I said, I have family in Hawaii, and it was just, that's where I grew up, even when I was living here, because I was born in Hollywood. But when I lived here, we spent summer times and any time we could in Hawaii. So that's where I learned how to surf and paddle a canoe and sail a boat and mess with the Hawaiian boys and all the fun stuff, So that's where my background came. And I thought, wow, wouldn't that be cool if I could get the part of the Royal Hawaiian? And so we kind of they got us in front of the camera and just a cold reading, just tell us about yourself. And I just said, well, this is me. I'm April, and I'd love to be the Royal Hawaiian, and I'm a hula dancer, and I have the background of living in Hawaii and all that. So everything I just told them, and then at the end of it, they picked 2 of us, and that was from that audition. And then they had other auditions and interviews to get the other 10 girls, because they were looking for specifics: Spanish Red, Hollywood and Vine, Tina and Ashley, Americana. They had the 12 characters picked out. So they did more auditions to come up with the other 10 characters, but they didn't just pick one for everyone. They had to find out if we could wrestle. I had no wrestling background whatsoever. So, I knew I came from the Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, Jake the Snake. That was my era of wrestling, but I didn't know anything about it. So we had to get trained, and we were trained by Mondo Guerrero from the famous Guerrero family, right? Eddie Guerrero, Hector,
Really?
Chavo.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that was our trainer.
Eddie was a great wrestler. God rest his soul.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, right.
I love his saying, I lie, I cheat, I steal. That's how people actually became wrestlers, because of his kind of stuff.
Legendary, right? So
I think he was legendary.
Yeah, so we basically were trained by Mondo. So there was about maybe, 40-ish girls, and they had to break it down and select 12 that were going to each, be that character. So, they picked a couple girls that could look like a Spanish Red or an Americana, or what they envisioned them to be like. And so then we basically were trained, and we'd work out, and some of the girls ended up not liking it, right? They got too hurt, or they said, you know what, this is just not for me. Or David and Matt and Mondo decided that this girl may not be, a wrestler. She's not getting it or whatever. So they would choose to either cut them, or the girls would quit. So every day we went back to the gym to train, there were less and less girls. And then they finally got down to the 12 of us. So they got the 12 of us, and then we basically trained there for a few months. And then in December, we ended up traveling to Vegas, and the film was, the series was, or the pilot was filmed at the Riviera Hotel in Las Vegas. And that's where we were living. So we lived in the hotel. And so basically kayfabe, we couldn't heels couldn't walk around with baby faces, and we had to kind of play the part and do everything. And ironically, Americana was my roommate. We were both trainers for the show. So we were hired for the pilot. We did the pilot. And then after the pilot was sold, Americana and I were the trainers for season 1. And we trained all the new girls that came in to join the show. And so we put the show on in Vegas. And then once the pilot was done, then it went to the NAPI convention in New Orleans, and then it was sold. So we had to go and, get all the stations to buy the show. And then we started season 1. So we had a little bit of a break. We came back to LA, and then we went back to Vegas when we started working out and picking the new girls and getting them trained and all that. And then started filming every Saturday. And that's basically, how it came about. And then after, so it was a lot of fun. We didn't know what we were doing, but, David envisioned what he wanted. And his idea was he wanted pretty girls that could be wrestlers. And he wanted to get that on TV, and at the time, mud wrestling was popular. And so people would always say, "Oh, you guys are mud wrestlers." And we're like, "No, we are not mud wrestlers. We are professional wrestlers like Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant. We're going to be doing the same thing, but it's going to be all women." We had Moolahs and all the past wrestlers who had been, but no all women's wrestling league yet.
Right. Just like people say, just like I gotta say for someone else, we're not superstars, we're not entertainers, we're wrestlers.
Yeah.
I hate when people always call female wrestlers divas. You guys are not divas, you guys are wrestlers. You're not entertainers or superstars.
That's today though, they do call it sports entertainment, because people like to say, "Oh, it's fake," and "Oh, it's this," and "Oh, it's that." Well, it is a sport, and it is for entertainment. So you can kind of say that, but everybody is different. You talk to a wrestler, and when you tell them it's fake, that's an insult, right? We don't like to hear that, but it's a big industry. Some people will say it's bigger than NFL or MLB or NBA. All the traditional sports. But it's something where we did something that had never been done, right? It was a male dominated sport, and David McLean and Matt Simber came out with something that had never been done before. So it was, it's exciting to have been a part of an era where women were empowered, and we were able to cross over into the male dominated sport and be able to be successful in a show that abruptly came to a halt, which it could have, I just had a conversation over the weekend with a couple people saying, "Imagine if Glow had gone all this time, what it would have been like." I'm like, "Yeah, that would have been awesome." Right. And they tried to redo it, but it just didn't work and it never came back. But, it is what it is.
Oh, by the way, fans, if you guys want to watch it, definitely go on YouTube, watch Glow. Definitely. There is a documentary on there's a documentary on Netflix about Glow.
Well, the documentary, I'm not sure. Netflix, it comes on and off. If you just Google Glow documentary, it'll tell you where it's streaming for free. I think Tubi and Pluto do run it a lot, and they even run some old episodes. And then, of course, like you said, YouTube, you could go on there and watch the old.
If you want to watch April Hum back in the day when she used to wrestle, go on the channel and watch it, definitely. Here's a question, too. I heard from you, technically, you said you actually spit pineapple at people. How do you like doing that?
Well, I could tell you what I did, but you don't ask a magician how he does his tricks, right?
True. But how do you enjoy spitting pineapple in people's faces?
Yes, I do. And so you basically can see it too. I should probably, I haven't posted it for a while. So what I'll do after the show is I'll post one of my real good pineapple episodes of current day. You guys could see, episodes and stuff like that, but some of the current day stories with the pineapple are really funny and kind of good. But so what I would do is all the stuff that you see on Glow that I do. So I developed a character. they gave the names were already picked out. So Americana, Jungle Woman, Spanish Red, Matilda the Hun, Mount Fiji, all the character names were done. It was then up to us and the writers to develop the characters. However, back in the beginning, the 12 of us, basically, they gave us the run, they said run with it. Or if they had a specific storyline that they wanted, of course, the writers would write that in. So for me, luckily, they didn't really tell me what I could or could not do. They just said, go for it. And so everything you see me do or say or whatever, my stuff was never scripted. So I never had to have a script. There were some girls who could not just do a promo, right? They would actually have to get the writers, would write their segment, and then they would give it to them. They would practice their lines. And then when it came day to cut all the promos, some of us could be done like that, right? Some girls would have to take more than one or a few takes, and they were actually acting off of a script. So luckily for me, I didn't have to worry about that. So I just basically, they told me, you're wrestling so-and-so, you're doing this. And I would just go and cut a promo and, be in the camera's face and, doing my thing. So what you see me do, I basically came up with. So the pineapple gimmick, basically, I would come in with the pineapple and I would crush the pineapple. I'd either hit it on my head or I'd hit the turnbuckle or whatever, but I would crush the pineapple and then I would rip it apart. And so I have all these cute little pineapples. These are compliments of my Kinish. They're called the Kinish family. So Bobby and Erica have bought me. So if you could see some of my pineapple wall, I call it. But I have all these cute little, look, this is one of my favorites. And I have one that sits in my corner and he's about this big, like he's big. Huge.
Oh God!
I have a whole pineapple family that sits here on my couch, and I've got from little ones to big ones to all these different things. So I would actually take the pineapple and bust it open, and then I would just eat it. And then I started out with spitting it into the crowd. So I would just, so you would just see pineapple shooting out. And then, I used to do it at the girls, whoever I was wrestling and stuff like that. So now when I when I manage Otto Von Clutch or AJ Mana, I come in and then, they introduce me as the Glow Champion, the Royal Hawaiian, and I come in with the pineapple and somebody gets pineapple. So it's either the opponent's manager, sometimes it's the referee. Sometimes it's the actual opponent, like they'll be egging me on and I do that, or it's somebody in the crowd. So that's kind of how it goes when I manage the guys. Yeah. And so I have two real specific stories that always come up is when I first managed Otto, not the very first time, but one in the earlier days. And it's been I don't know, 6 years, I think. What is this, 24? It was 2018, 2019, somewhere around there. And we did a show up in the high desert in Barstow at Destination 6. And so I was his manager and he was wrestling Louis 54 and his manager, Janie Van Halen. And they were wrestling. I came in and I busted pineapple, and pineapple was everywhere, on the floor, on the apron, in the ring, because Louis was egging me on, spit pineapple in my face, and all that. And I was like, all right, this guy's egging me on.
It's a great honor. It's a great honor to get spit by the face with a pineapple.
It was everywhere. Pineapple was everywhere. Then we find out after Otto wins the match, we find out that one of the girls on the card that was wrestling for her title to maintain her belt, she was allergic to pineapple.
Oh no.
So they had to take an intermission, a not scheduled intermission. They had the ring crew had to come out with the mops and they had to totally mop down, wipe down the ring, the apron, the floor.
No.
They had to give it like a full, I don't know, it was like a half an hour intermission. It was terrible. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it.
If
So,
anyone wants to, sorry to interrupt you. If anyone actually wants to say any comments, you're welcome to say comments. I know it's an early show for me for one time ever. Normally my show's normally at 8. That's when people come on.
uh-huh.
If anyone wants to say any comments, we're live right now. I hope
Yeah,
everyone,
live,
hope
send them
everyone's
in.
watching.
Yeah. So anyway, the girl ended up being allergic. So after that, every time we had a show, I would
Yeah,
then, before the show started, I would say, is there anybody that's allergic to pineapple, before I
true.
go and crush pineapple and spit pineapple everywhere? So that's like one of the bad situations that now that's what we do. And then I had one time when Otto was wrestling, I think he was wrestling Maverick, and it just so
Yeah.
happened that Maverick's manager was Amber, who is now Ref Amber, that's Otto's wife, but she was the manager of Maverick, and she's a little tiny thing. Like, I don't know, she came up to my chest maybe, and she just tried to push me, and I didn't move. I was kind of just like a wall. And she tried pushing me, and I didn't budge, right? And then all of a sudden I'm thinking, she's getting pineapple. She's over here trying to push me. And I thought, so hers was really good because a friend of mine was videotaping, and they were on the side. So they were not facing me, but they were filming from side view. And I just spit pineapple right in, and we're like not even 2 feet away from each other, and you could just
Okay.
see the trajectory of the pineapple just going shoo, and I spit it right in her face, and it just goes all in her face. So that was one of the fun ones, and the video's good. So I'll have to post that. I'll have to dig that
Definitely
one
got to
up
see that. I
and
definitely
post
got
it.
to see that. But you told me about something else that I heard from you was about this Russian who was wearing a pink.
Oh, well, that's when, because you're saying I'm a heel, and so I was the first heel that held the crown. So the
Okay.
first crown holder was Tammy Jones, who was a baby
Okay.
face. And then
Okay.
I held the crown, and I held it the longest until season somewhere in 3 and 4. My buddy
Okay.
Daisy she was the last reigning Glow champion, and she held
Really?
it a little bit longer than me. So back
Interesting.
in the days of season 3 and 4, originally with me, I had a lot of fans and I had a big fan base. So they told me, "Oh, we're thinking of changing you to a face." And I said, "Are you kidding me?" I said, I'm not changing. I said, how am I gonna be a bad girl, not a bad girl anymore? And how am I gonna spit pineapple in someone's face
True.
as a baby face? I said,
True.
that's not
True.
gonna work. I said, I'm not changing. So I refused to change. So eventually down the road, they were able to convince Nanichka. Now I train Nanichka, so I take a lot of pride because she's my favorite wrestler. I just think she's amazing. So in another interview, somebody asked who are your favorite wrestlers, or who do you think
Yeah.
were like the most or the toughest and the best wrestlers. And that, for me, my choices and my picks were Nanichka and the original Corporal Kelly.
Interesting. Interesting.
And those two were just really strong wrestlers, and I just liked. But with Nanichka, somewhere along the way, instead of being the tough Russian that she was, they convinced her and they changed her to a face. And instead of her red, Russian
Yeah.
outfit, with her coming out and being the strong character that she was, they turned her into a face and they put her in like a pink foo-foo ballerina kind of
Oh
looking
God. What embarrassment.
outfit, and she became a baby face. And I was like,
Oh,
TV.
that's funny.
So I was totally bummed about that because I thought she was the best as the Russian. So,
But you know how it
but that's
is.
just my opinion,
You know how
and
it
she
is,
was my
man.
favorite as Nunichka, the Russian,
Correct.
not the
But you know
baby
what? It's a
face
wrestling business. They change your
Russian.
gimmicks, they change your names, they change whatever they want. Make it look better.
So, yeah.
But pretty much you do
Well,
a lot
sometimes it
of
freezes, so you gotta let me know if it.
yeah, it's freezing a little bit.
I
You're
have some
fine.
problems with
It's your Wi-Fi. It
the
happens.
computer, I guess,
Don't worry, guys.
and
It's
it
just
freezes
it's
up. So
technical
hopefully we'll
difficulty.
do okay.
This is technical difficulty in Cali. It happens out here sometimes too.
What?
Oh, phone's
What?
freezing. My phone freezes once in a while too. But I'm good right now.
Uh-oh.
There you go.
Sorry. Oh,
That's okay. That's
yeah.
okay.
Sorry. I was supposed to have this on mute.
I definitely hear it. Definitely. April, question. I seen you like normally
Sorry.
on your Facebook live in Cali with a lot of wrestlers like Rikishi. How does it feel working with all these big people from WWE?
Yeah. I was lucky. I refused and they let me go with it. So that was good.
You're freezing a little bit. I can't. It's your. It's freezing. It's a technical difficulty.
Technical difficulties.
Technical
That's
difficulty,
normal.
guys.
It
I
happens all the
apologize.
time.
It happens. It happens. It's the
I bet
Wi-Fi,
I
whatever.
didn't get the whole question. You said I do a lot of what?
Like I see you normally with like Rikishi and Cali at a lot of his meet and greets. How does it feel working with Rikishi and other WWE wrestlers, or actually meeting them, like Rikishi? What's going on? I apologize, guys. Her Wi-Fi is acting up right now. Bear with us.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I can hear you now. Here and there, you
It's
come in and you come out. You come in and
a
out
lot of
sometimes.
fun. That's why when people ask, I'm you know, I last year with WrestleCon in town with WrestleMania. I got to see Rikishi. I see him quite a bit. I do several shows with him. Jake
Okay.
the Snake, Greg the Hammer
Wait,
Valentine.
you met Jake the Snake? Wow, he was a great wrestler
I
too. I love
know.
Jake the
I see
Snake.
it.
Oh, Jake. Yeah,
Godfather, Sabu. Is it
I knew the Godfather. I know Sabu is. They're good wrestlers too.
I'm moving?
But
Yeah. Can you
I've been
hear
hearing.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I've been hearing rumors too about this. Supposedly, I don't know if it's true. If you know, is it true that Rikishi's actually going to return?
Yeah, nothing we could do with it. We kind of just gotta let it go. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's Skulls. What's up, Skulls? He's saying hello. Yeah, is your Wi-Fi's acting up? Bear with me, guys. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me, guys. It's the
Well, it's
Wi-Fi.
lots of fun. They're just so much fun. One Rikishi locally. Yeah, locally here in Cali, he does a lot of shows close by to where I live. So I'm lucky I get to
Oh
go
yeah,
and
definitely,
do meet and greets at his show here in Pomona. We usually have them at the
definitely.
Derby room in Pomona. And
Skull said a whole
sorry
hello.
guys.
Skulls. I have a comment from
Sorry
Skull.
guys.
It's the
Okay.
what? It's the
Yeah,
what?
so I get to work with him because here in yeah, bummer. Sorry. But working with Rikishi, he's really just cool. His whole family, his wife comes and works at the shows, and he's got a great crew with Knox Pro and everybody there. So it's lots of fun, and I'm lucky I get to hang with some of the superstars from WWF and Jake the Snake and Tugboat's one of my favorites.
Really?
Oh, last year for WrestleMania, I did his show.
Wow.
Still freezing?
You're good right now. It's working better a little bit. It comes in and out
Yeah,
sometimes.
Sabu.
I know.
Gosh, all of them. Lisa Marie, Victoria, Tara from TNA.
I have a
We've done
I have a comment.
Lita and Trish. And
Yeah, Trish. Yep, I know them. I have a comment right now from Skulls. He's saying hello.
I heard the same thing. I don't know. I haven't seen him since I heard that. So they said that he's supposed to return to WWE and become a manager of some kind. Hey, Mr. Skulls. I see him. Hi, Skulls. How's it going?
Sorry,
Yeah.
that's my. I'm sorry to interrupt. That's my opponent. But yeah,
And
I
it's
would.
strong. It's saying that it's fine. So sure, it's just, kind of back and forth.
The weather maybe out there, maybe the wind, whatever.
But I
I
do
don't know
have
how it is in
issues
Cali.
with it.
I don't know how it is in Cali right now. Is it
Okay,
windy?
here, let's see. It says strong. I just checked it. It says strong. So sorry, guys.
I'm sorry, guys.
Um,
Honestly, I'm
but
glad
yeah, so I'm
April.
not sure. I hear the rumors, so we'll have to wait and see.
Trust me,
Hello.
I've been watching wrestling a lot up too. But anyways, like I said, April, I'm glad you had a great career as a wrestler. Now you're a big person with other wrestlers. Now you could be in the
Yeah,
other
it seems
shows.
strong, but I know it does this. It goes on and off.
Yeah, and I'm like I said, I know you definitely enjoy
Can you
doing
hear
other
me?
shows now. Yeah, I can hear you. You're good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So sorry, guys.
It happens. It happens. But honestly, April, like I said, you've done a lot in your whole career, and I know you
On my
love it.
end, it's not frozen. I'm moving.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
fine. You're
so
fine.
it's not frozen,
I can see you.
and it's saying strong connection.
Awesome. Cool. But
Okay.
what about, like I
Yeah.
said, you definitely enjoy your whole career. I
So
know you
we'll
did.
see. We'll have to see what the news is, but I don't know. I guess maybe with some changes coming up with Roman Reigns. Yeah.
Yeah, don't get me with Roman Reigns.
Hello. Does he have a question?
No, he just said hello. I think Skulls is pretty busy right now. I think he's at a show. He's a busy man too.
I think we got through on his interview without any problems.
It's not mine. My phone's fine. My connection's fine here. I got perfect service and everything.
Yeah.
I can move without freezing or nothing.
I have to see you guys wrestle against each other.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a good match between me and him. Definitely. I'm gonna enjoy it. He whistled his hands out of my. He didn't get. I couldn't get my hands on him at Backyard Brawl. Now I can
No,
get his
it's
hands in
no,
November.
it's not even windy. It's a nice no, it's a beautiful day. There's no wind. I'm looking outside and
Definitely.
yeah, it's not windy. There's no problem.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what's honestly. It happens. It happens. I'm. At least you're on my show. You're not really actually kicking on like normally people have. They leave and they come back. It happens a lot. but they're. But yeah.
Yeah, I do. I like I like to support the indie shows, and then of course we do Comic Cons and wrestling shows, and I have one. Yeah, I've got one scheduled for.
Mhm.
I love what I do, and I'll be traveling to the state of Washington in the beginning of August. Yeah, I'm going up to
Really
Washington.
nice. I heard there's a Comic Con in
Yes.
there's a Comic Con in Cali
Even with all my
coming up.
injuries, I still do, and everybody asks, "Would you still do it, or would you do it again, knowing the kind of injuries that you've had?" And I say yes because it was so much fun, even though it was Roman Reigns. Yeah, he's. I think it's. I don't know what's going to happen with Rikishi. He's gonna. I don't know. Take over Roman Reigns. Oh, today's
Uh,
Friday. I don't know what show's going on.
I've been hearing
What's that?
rumors supposedly. I've been hearing rumors supposedly that Rikishi's going to try to take over the bloodline and try to put it back where it belongs. And
Yeah,
I've
I
been
don't
hearing rumors
know.
that
It's just
Rikishi's not
sometimes
happy.
it's just really weird because yeah, and see for me, look, I'm moving, but
I see
I
you.
don't know. For some reason, it's not
But
coming through.
um, anywho, I would like to say thank you for coming on
No,
my
we'll have to
show.
wait and see. Yeah, we'll have to
You're
wait
still
and
there,
see
right?
when you come to Cali.
I'm planning on it. I'm coming in November. I'm excited. Um, anywho,
Yeah, we'll have to see what
April
that's like
Hum,
and get you here. And so that
I'm
one's
planning
going to
on it.
be a death match show too.
What's the best part of the pineapple crush? Okay? Here's a question
There
from
was one yesterday here in Cali. I didn't go to
there's
that,
there's a
but
question from Skulls. What was the
it's
best part
kind
of your
of
pineapple crushing your opponent?
scary. That kind of stuff scares me.
Hey, April, you hear? This is from Skulls.
Yeah, well,
What's the best parts
because it's been so bad, maybe we'll have to do it again so we can kind of try and have a better
connection?
connection
Definitely.
towards
All
breaking
right.
out.
I'd like to say thank you for
Yeah.
April Hahn. Thank you for April Hahn being on my show,
But
Wolfpack Hour.
I do have the show up in Washington coming up. Well, first I have June. June 7th, 8th, and 9th is here in Lake Elsinore, here in California. And that's in the Valley Wrestling Connection. There'll be shows on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So if you guys are in the Cali area looking for something to do next weekend, that's where I'll be. So at the Lake Elsinore outlet stores, there's going to be a wrestling ring set up on one end. So if you guys are looking for something fun to do, come out and see me.
Definitely.
And then Washington is in August 3rd. I'm doing so state of Washington in Longview, Washington.
Okay.
Oh yeah, but that one's not till October. I think they moved it to December, and now it's back to originally it used to be during the Halloween weekend. So I believe this year it is during October, end of October. And they just had the Ontario one, but I was at that one. But I got we have Vegas coming up at the CAC, the Cauliflower Alley Club. David McLean is getting an award for the independent.
I apologize.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I think I think that's kind of what it's looking like, with the changes with Roman Reigns and with him being sick. So maybe.
But
no, anytime. You're welcome. I wish it was a better connection. So
definitely,
maybe we'll have to do it
again. Definitely.
Yeah. So we'll see you in November.
Yep. We cutting my show right now. Thank you, Abraham, for being on the show. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll see you in November. And if you'd like to do another show another time,
I'm your host, Big Bad Silver Wolf, with my guest, April Hom. I'm sorry for the technical difficulty. I'm in the show. So, love you guys.
What was the best part is kicking their ass and kicking them leave smelling like pineapple and having. Yes, I saw that. What was the best part of pineapple crushing your opponent? I would say the best part was doing the Hawaiian crush at the end.
All right. I'm ending the show. I apologize for the technical difficulty. We could do it again, definitely. I'm your host, Big Bad Silver Wolf, and my guest, April.
Thanks. Sorry there was such a bad connection. We'll have to do it again another time.
I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it, but love you guys.